Well, I tell them, first of all, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. You know, the average American citizen breaks 6 federal laws a day. That's a problem.
That was a good answer, bro. That was quick. If you're not going to help us make dollars, then you're not our friend and you won't win. Let's see what this man is talking about that Lisa Marie is sharing with us. It says the MAGA Shaman, let me show y'all this. It says the MAGA Shaman is running for Congress in Arizona. Don't blame Trump for Jan 6 is what it says. Okay, let's see what it says.
With no shirt to end up disrupting the establishment and the established corrupt politics in the dinosaur circus that we call DC, then I'm fine with that.
Don't you lose your credibility without the shirt?
Well, I don't think so, none whatsoever. In my personal opinion, I think that it's a symbol that I'm willing to bear all, that what people are getting with me is exactly what it is that I'm showing them.
This was the guy that had the horns on his head that everyone was saying he was the biggest terrorist in the world. Ew. Ew. Oh, this guy, man, he should be underneath the jail. They should have given him 80 years because what he did was the worst thing to ever happen to American history. They need to put him back in jail. Throw away the key, huh? They need to put him in a hole. That's what they need to do because this was bad what he did. It was horrific.
That I'm not afraid. I'm not trying to paint some image the way that all these puppet politicians do. I'm not disingenuous in any way, shape, or form. I come bare-chested. I come in full regalia. This is who I am. This is what I represent. And guess what? I think that once people hear me speak, then they can and will want to vote for me.
Once people hear him speak, then they can and will want to vote for him. That's not how that works, sir. Like a good speech ain't gonna get you to nod, but I say go for it, man. If that's what you're feeling, get up on that stage, get up on the podium, and do your thing. The settings are stuck. Thank you. Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask you this as well, if we can. We know you're running for Congress. We've made that very clear. You've made that very clear. We're talking about, again, the policies that you wanted to run on in terms of penalties for insider trading, term limits, et cetera, things like that. Obviously, you've done some homework when you had the time to do that. You're running as a libertarian. People are going to ask, why should anyone from any party vote for a convicted felon who is accused of trying to destroy the very democracy you want to represent now? Do you have an answer for that?
Oh, I tell them, first of all, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic.
Boom. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I like that. Okay. That was a good answer, bro. That was quick.
A democracy is 2 wolves and a lamb voting on what's for dinner. A republic is a well-armed lamb contesting the vote. And I would also say that, you know, the DOJ can call anybody or can convict anybody on anything. I believe it was Clarence Thomas that said the average American citizen breaks 6 federal laws a day. So our list of rules for the government is a page or 2. It's called the Bill of Rights in the Constitution. But their list of rules for us are thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of pages at this point. Hence why, you know, the average American citizen breaks 6 federal laws a day. That's a problem. And so in my opinion, if the American people are looking for change, then I guarantee you they're not going to find it in the establishment. They're not going to find it in any of the people that are currently in Congress because those people are banking on keeping the status quo. That's how they keep their jobs. These people want careers in DC. They don't want to make change.
And Jacob, as we know,
they want change, just not the type of change that you want to make. They want to make the change that fold. They want to make dollars, all right? Dollars and cents. That's what they want to make. And anybody that's keeping them away from making that money, you're not their friend. And you won't win. That's how that's going now. That's the new slogan for anybody running for office. If you're not going to help us make dollars, then you're not our friend and you won't win because they feel like they control the purse, all right? If you're not going to extend their net worth, then you can give it up. I don't give a dag on how eloquent you are when speaking. I don't care about your ability to debate. None of that. None of it. All right. And as a matter of fact, I got something to say when he's done. I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and I'm going to let him finish.
No, people make change by using their vote lawfully and doing so peacefully, not obstructing a congressional proceeding, as we know. Got to ask you about how you're viewing the current frontrunner for the GOP nomination. Of course, former President Trump, why almost everyone who was there at the Capitol on January 6th was there to support Donald Trump. Do you blame the former president for the prison sentence you faced or the fact that you showed up at the Capitol to begin with?
No, I do not. And I think that any attempt to try to paint anything that happened on that day onto the president or try to paint him with that broad brush is just Mockingbird media and corrupt DOJ talking points. Because the fact of the matter is, the man said, peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Okay, so what we're talking about here is optics. And based on the Mockingbird media, neurolinguistic programming, based on critical factor bypass and all that kind of psychological warfare, basically, you can paint anybody to be anything. So you could choose to look at me as a felon. I've heard people call me a traitor that's a threat to democracy, or you could choose to look at me as I am, a person that was maligned and skewered by a corrupt system, as so many hundreds of thousands of people have been in the United States, as so many January 6ers have been in the United States, and has Donald Trump has been in the United States of America. So I don't see the former president as responsible at all. Nobody can make me do anything. And that's why I should go to DC, because I'm not going to be beholden to the NGOs. I'm not going to be beholden to lobbyists. I'm not going to be beholden to the deep state puppet strings. I will represent the American people the way they deserve to be represented.
I don't trust politicians. So I would say stay doing what you're doing, big dog. As soon as you become a politician, then you ain't going to be trusted either. People ain't going to trust you. You already have people on on one side anyway, the left, that don't trust him. I think it's big that he is putting his head out there. I think it's big that he's gone through the ringer more than anybody else who was a part of that Jan 6 clique and went to jail for what he believed in. And they tried to ask him some stuff. I don't know if Newsmax seems fair. It seemed like they weren't leaning one side or the other. They asked him a couple of questions that he could have taken the wrong way, but he decided to take it in stride and to answer honestly and show that he has something to bring to the table. And I think that's admirable. I think that's absolutely admirable. They also try to get him to throw Trump under the bus. Like, do you blame Trump? Why am I getting stuck on this program? I don't get it. What's going on?